Welcome to our deep dive into some of the most shocking and impactful presidential assassinations in history. These tragic events not only resulted in the loss of influential leaders, but also profoundly altered the trajectory of nations. From the assassination of Abraham Lincoln at a crucial moment in American history to the murder of Benigno Aquino Jr., which ignited a revolution in the Philippines, these stories reveal the intense intersection of power, politics, and violence. Today we will explore these harrowing events, examining their immediate impacts and long-lasting legacies. 1. Abraham Lincoln, USA, 1865. On the evening of April 14, 1865, President Abraham Lincoln was assassinated by John Wilkes Booth at Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C. Booth, a Confederate sympathizer, seized the opportunity to strike during a performance of Our American Cousin. Lincoln had just witnessed General Robert E. Lee's surrender, a pivotal moment signaling the end of the Civil War. Booth's attack occurred just days after this national victory, marking a tragic end to a period of immense relief and hope for reconciliation. Lincoln's death sent the nation into mourning, as his leadership had been instrumental in preserving the Union and advancing the cause of emancipation. His assassination underscored the nation's vulnerability during the Reconstruction era, a time crucial for healing and rebuilding. Lincoln's absence left a leadership vacuum, affecting the course of Reconstruction and national unity. But Lincoln's legacy endures through his contributions to civil rights and national healing. His leadership continues to influence American politics and societal values. 2. William McKinley, USA, 1901. President William McKinley was shot by anarchist Leon Czolgosz on September 6, 1901, at the Pan American Exposition in Buffalo, New York. McKinley was meeting the public when Czolgosz, holding a revolver hidden in a handkerchief, fired 2 shots, and one of the bullets fatally wounded McKinley. The assassination occurred against the backdrop of America's rapid industrial expansion and growing social unrest. McKinley's presidency had seen economic prosperity and relative stability, but his death led to the rise of Theodore Roosevelt. McKinley's assassination spurred significant changes in public safety and political security, reflecting the need for better protection of leaders. McKinley's death highlighted the need for political and security reforms, influencing future administrations. McKinley's assassination not only led to increased awareness of security measures, but also spurred significant changes in the approach to public safety and political security. 3. John F. Kennedy, USA, 1963. On November 22, 1963, President John F. Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas, Texas, while riding in a motorcade through Dealey Plaza. Kennedy was struck by 2 bullets, one in the upper back and one in the head, as he passed the Texas School Book Depository. Lee Harvey Oswald was arrested as the prime suspect, but was killed before he could stand trial, leading to a whirlwind of conspiracy theories. The assassination was a seismic event in American history, occurring during a period of significant social and political change. Kennedy, who had championed the New Frontier agenda, including civil rights and space exploration, left a void that reshaped American politics. The extensive investigations into his death influenced future approaches to presidential security and public discourse, underscoring the fragility of leadership in times of national unrest. 4. Benigno Aquino Jr., Philippines, 1983. Benigno Aquino Jr., a prominent opposition leader in the Philippines, was assassinated on August 21, 1983. Aquino was returning to the Philippines from exile in the United States, and his murder at Manila International Airport sparked nationwide outrage. The killing was attributed to the regime of then-President Ferdinand Marcos, although the exact motivations remain debated. Aquino's assassination galvanized opposition against Marcos, leading to the People Power Revolution of 1986, which ultimately ousted Marcos and restored democracy in the Philippines. The assassination highlighted issues of political repression and corruption in the Marcos administration and Aquino's death became a rallying point for democratic reforms. His legacy lives on in Philippine politics as a symbol of resistance against authoritarian rule and a call for political integrity. 5. Archduke Franz Ferdinand, Austria-Hungary, 1914. Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria was assassinated on June 28, 1914, in Sarajevo, Bosnia. The assassination was carried out by Gavrilo Princip, a Bosnian Serb nationalist associated with the Black Hand Secret Society. This event is often cited as the immediate cause of World War I, as it triggered a series of alliances and mobilizations across Europe. The assassination had far-reaching consequences, igniting a conflict that would engulf much of the world. The ensuing war reshaped international politics, redrew borders, and set the stage for significant geopolitical changes throughout the 20th century. Franz Ferdinand's death symbolized the fragility of peace in a time of intense nationalism and complex alliances. 6. Robert F. Kennedy, USA, 1968. Senator Robert F. Kennedy was assassinated on June 5, 1968, in Los Angeles, California, shortly after delivering his victory speech for the California primary. The assassin, Sirhan Sirhan, was a 24-year-old Palestinian who claimed to be motivated by Kennedy's pro-Israel stance. Kennedy's death occurred during a time of great social and political turmoil, including the civil rights movement and widespread protests against the Vietnam War. Kennedy's assassination was a devastating blow to the nation, especially following the recent assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. His death added to the sense of crisis and disillusionment in American society. Kennedy's vision for social justice and equality was cut short, but his legacy continues to inspire and influence the pursuit of justice and equality in the United States. 7. James A. Garfield, USA, 1881. President James A. Garfield was shot on July 2, 1881, by Charles Guiteau, a disgruntled office seeker, while waiting for a train in Washington, D.C. Garfield survived the initial shooting, but succumbed to his injuries and infections 11 weeks later. Guiteau's motivations were rooted in his belief that he had been denied a government position he was promised, and his actions were driven by a sense of political entitlement. Garfield's assassination underscored the need for civil service reform and led to the eventual passage of the Pendleton Civil Service Reform Act. This legislation aimed to reduce the influence of political patronage and established a merit-based system for federal employment. Garfield's death highlighted the perils of political patronage and helped to shape future reforms in government administration. 8. Anwar Sadat, Egypt, 1981. On October 6, 1981, President Anwar Sadat was assassinated during a military parade celebrating Egypt's victory in the Yom Kippur War. Islamist extremists, opposing Sadat's peace treaty with Israel, targeted him in a dramatic attack. The assassination highlighted the deep divisions within Egyptian society regarding his policies, particularly his peace efforts. Sadat's death had far-reaching consequences for Egypt and the Middle East, impacting the peace process with Israel and highlighting the risks faced by leaders pursuing controversial reforms. His assassination underscored the complex interplay between political leadership and societal tensions, leaving a legacy of both progress and conflict. 9. Indira Gandhi, India, 1984. Indira Gandhi, the Prime Minister of India, was assassinated on October 31, 1984, by her Sikh bodyguards. The assassination was a direct response to her decision to order Operation Blue Star, a military action aimed at suppressing Sikh militants holed up in the Golden Temple. Gandhi's death led to violent anti-Sikh riots and intense political turmoil. Her assassination exposed the deep-seated religious and political tensions within India and prompted significant changes in national security and policy. Gandhi's leadership and her handling of internal dissent continue to influence India's political landscape, highlighting the challenges faced by leaders managing complex and conflicting interests. 10. Park Chung-hee, South Korea, 1979. On October 26, 1979, President Park Chung-hee of South Korea was assassinated by Kim Jae-gyu, the director of the Korean Central Intelligence Agency, KCIA, during a dinner party at a safe house in Seoul. Kim shot Park in the head and chest, killing him instantly. The motive behind the assassination remains debated, with theories ranging from a personal vendetta to a calculated move against Park's authoritarian regime. Park's assassination marked a significant turning point in South Korean politics, ending his 18-year rule characterized by rapid economic development and authoritarian control. His death led to a period of political instability and the eventual rise of a more democratic government. Park Chung-hee's legacy is complex, as he is credited with transforming South Korea into a modern industrial power while also being criticized for his repressive policies. His assassination remains a pivotal moment, reflecting the struggles between autocracy and democracy in South Korea's path to becoming a stable and prosperous nation. Each of these tragic events underscores the complex interplay between political power and vulnerability. From Lincoln's assassination and its effects on American unity to Aquino's murder and its role in democratic change in the Philippines, these incidents have left indelible marks on history. They serve as reminders of the significant impact that political violence can have on societies and the enduring legacy of those who fell victim to such acts. Thank you for joining us as we explored these pivotal moments in history. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth historical content.